Hello, everyone. It's Sydney or Autumn Plains, and welcome back to the channel. Today is finally the day that I will be publicly releasing the dream address for Biscuit. I do want to thank you all for being so patient. I know it's been a long time, and I'm so excited to release my first ever dream address of my first ever finished island. I've got some stuff that I want to mention, such as my adorable flag that you probably see over here, made by a friend of mine. You may know them. They're Georgia, also known as Cozy Oak on social media. Any socials that I mention, I will try my best to link in the description down below. I had them made this flag, and I feel like it captures all of the themes that I tried to put into this island. So it's a lot of pumpkins, very cottagecore, very meadowcore, and farmcore even. And there are some over the garden wall references and tried to capture that general vibe. However, it's not like an over the garden wall themed island. So let's go ahead and take a look at my map. So here is my map. I have two south-facing river mounts. And we have myself, my resident rep B, Sally, Dobie, my Animal Crossing grandpa, Bunny, Billy, B, Pearl, Fort Jr., Anchovy, who is slowly becoming my favorite, Deirdre, and Henry. And there are some notes that I have taken that I will go ahead and let you know about this island when you tour for yourself. So only the front beaches are decorated. So those three at the very bottom, or four, or something like that. I only decorated those ones. All the villager houses are customized inside and out. I will not be looking at them in this video tour. However, I highly encourage you to tour on your own or with me, and if my villagers are home, go ahead and take a look inside. And speaking of homes, my resident rep's house, there's just one room blocked off, but everything else in there is decorated, so feel free to go in there. I will be doing that one on the video since that one's quick. There are also gifts in front of resident services. So, now that we've got all that done, let's go ahead and get going. So we made our way to our airport. And then here we have my entrance that I am so very proud of. It was the first thing I built on this iteration of this island, and I was very inspired by you know what. This one is sort of the vibes of Pottsfield Town, at least that's how I felt about it. And I was very excited to finally make the spooky carriage work for me. If you want to use the spooky carriage on your island, I highly recommend making it into a giant centerpiece. That kind of makes it look less like it's a sore thumb sticking out, if that makes sense. The codes here and just how it's laid out and everything, I was very inspired by two creators, Charlie Horizon and Aaron, also known as Leaf. And definitely the layout of the area in front of my resident services was inspired by Charlie Horizon and their island. I believe it's Adelaide. And I just really loved how they used like the shed outside and all these plants and whatnot in the in-game pathing. I really don't like to use the in-game pathing, but when it comes to little farm areas such as this, I feel like it's really cute. So here, when you dream, there will be gifts for you to pick up and use at your leisure. I'm gonna start making my way down because that's where I started to build. And we have a little wishing well over here. I was so excited to finally be able to make this area work. I think what I meant to say is make the well work, the area too. But that well I had been wanting to use since I had gotten the game like a month after release, and I just couldn't make it look like it belonged, you know what I mean? Where here it just looks so natural. And I have a little thing of bells for you to make a wish. And if we keep making our way down this way, we've got our beach where we have our campsite. I had done campsites in a couple of other areas, but the beach for some reason just felt like my favorite place to decorate it with. And so this has actually gone through a couple of different iterations too, through all the seasons that this island has gone through. So it's kind of stayed the same and just kind of had different codes and colors. If we make our way up here, this connects with that area in front of resident services that is just kind of going the other way. And I have this little milk and cookies thing. I decided to use little bottles. It's like little milk bottles. I was inspired by a user called Mushy Mars on Instagram. I really liked their little milk and cookies thing, so definitely not one of my own original ideas. I try my best to give credit where credit is due, as one should. And here is a build that you may recognize if you have seen one of my other speed builds. This one is the Riverside neighborhood. And we have Ruby's house and Ruby. Ruby used to be here. It used to be Ruby and Poppy, or Ruby and somebody else. We have Bunny and Deirdre. And we just have this adorable little carrot farm. And they have their little clotheslines that I like to think maybe they like wash their clothes by the river. Very adorable and sweet. I really felt like this encapsulated both Meadowcore, Farmcore, those kinds of elements that I've been going for on this island. In the little carrot farm, we have this little table here, a seating area. I like to think that Bunny tends to like carrots since, you know, she's a bunny. And, you know, her and Deirdre hang out and they eat the little goods that she makes. Right below that, we have one of my favorite beaches that I've ever built, if not my favorite. I enjoy the little laundry area that we have. And then also, I was like, ooh, you know what would be cute is if we had like best friends on the beach or something. And you lay down on the towels and you just soak up the sun. I don't know. I thought it was cute. It doesn't have to make sense if it looks cute. A wise YouTuber once said. Thank you, Kato. One of my favorite bits on this little beach area, besides all these like overgrown flowers and weeds and like the plucked flowers, is that I used the wooden storage sheds as like little changing rooms with the shoes in front. I thought that was cute. I don't know, kind of really like helped it feel like a beach, I guess. I feel like that sounds so weird, but it makes sense in my head. And here we kind of have like a little separation where it feels like less beachy over here, I hope, and kind of more just like an extension of the land over here. Well, again, with my little garden gnomes. The peninsula went through a whole bunch of different looks as well. I was not sure what to do with it. At one point I wanted maybe a house on it, but I ultimately went with this little picnic area. I'm gonna have so many of these on this island. This one was, the layout of the picnic area was inspired by somebody on Instagram. Unfortunately, I cannot recall right now. If I do find their socials, again, I will link that. Here we're gonna go through the secret little passageway, and here you can tell where I had decided maybe the front beach isn't good enough to decorate. And we are approaching one of my favorite spots that I've built on the island because it was George's idea. I wasn't sure what to put here. I'm like, oh man, we got that bridge in the background. What do I put in this space here? Orange Orchard didn't quite fit the vibe here for some reason. I just couldn't make it work. And George just said, why don't you have like an autumn feast? I feel like an autumn harvest feast would be adorable. And I said, fam, Why have I not thought of that before? What Autumn Island would I have if there wasn't like a little feast area? So Georgia came over and we took pictures. It was really adorable. And I love it so much. I finally got to use that archway in the back. I forget what the item's called. But I was very purposeful of like how I balanced the items and stuff, and I'm just really proud of this one. If we follow the brick and stuff, we then arrive at our Able sisters, which I'm gonna say this like the whole video. I'm very proud of how I decorated this one because I know that Nook's Cranny and Able sisters, because they're such like primary colors, the red, the green, the blue, they're hard to decorate with. Oh, green's not a primary color, but still. Anyway, they're like very vibrant, so it's kind of hard to fit in with a lot of island themes. So I kind of went with like this little meadow flower field kind of area. And it's like, oh, they like have the clothes extending outside in the shop for you to come and look at. And if we hop across this little river here, we have another speed build. This one I was so proud of. This one I had built right after watching Hocus Pocus 2. And I was so inspired by like the little Sanderson sister area, like their house turned like museum or something. But just like that cemetery kind of look was so inspiring to me. So I wanted to make it like very grand with the statue and like these faux gates with the whatchamacallit, like the ruined items. And down here is walkable. I say that in quotations because you can get to the museum, but this right side here, you really can't walk around. It's just the left. And that kind of dead ends, so we're gonna come back. And that flower field that I mentioned before is gonna get extended to over here, where I kind of started to run out of steam, admittedly, and I'm like, all right, I wanted a flower field. I want to be done with this island as well, so I might as well just throw it on here, even if I feel like it doesn't quite fit the theme. It's meadowy, Meadowcore Island-ish. But this one is Pearl's house. And, you know, despite me being like, oh, you know, I was so done with it, I think it turned out really cute and simplistic and pretty. I feel like it's so cozy to just kind of run through and get yourself over to our house. So I've got these items outside to act as like, oh, you know, she's gonna tend to the flower field. Scarecrow doesn't make sense, but again, doesn't have to make sense. Thought it looked cute in the flower field. And since Pearl is a snooty, I don't know why, but my brain was just like, she would absolutely love this grand old gazebo over to the side here. So I put that over there just for her because she is fabulous and she deserves it. Right, and if we head down this incline through this narrow little passageway, I love it. This is my Nook's Cranny. This one took a very long time to come up with because I knew I wanted a river near it. And once I had the terraforming done, I knew I wanted it here, but every time I put it over here, it didn't look right. So I would move it somewhere else and it still didn't look right. Just build, do it, and if you decide that you don't like it, you can always tear it down and build it up again. That is the beauty of this game. And that's exactly what I did here, and I'm really happy with how nestled in and cozy and autumnal this feels. Absolutely adore it. I'm gonna head down the bridge from here, and this is that little walkway next to the area in front of resident services. So if you were here, you could go up. And then I went down, of course, but there's this little sign over to the left. Oh, and some orange trees. Bam. Orange orchard. Right here. Hang out with your friends. Hidden away. It's so cute. I like to think that, you know, we're all gonna hang out and we've got the orange marmalade a little smoothie and like an orange pie. Orange cake? I don't know. The pastry just looked really cute. And I'm so proud of myself because even though I have this game for a long time, I never really used like stall and simple panel builds because they always intimidated me. I'm like, what if they don't look realistic? And while realistic looking islands are nice, they don't have to be realistic to look nice. So I'm gonna make my way up again actually into the right because we have a little picnic blanket area just overgrown with the flowers, and we got the pumpkins to make it all autumnal, of course. This was an adorable little area that I had fun making. It's a nice filler space. And then here we have the actual resident services. I wanted to keep it like covered in the trees, especially like the red and orange ones to keep that autumnal feel. And I still wanted like cliff terraforming here and there, but I didn't want to overdo it. I wanted the focus to be the tree. So if we head, let's see, let's go this way, and then we'll make our way down and around. So if we head up here, we have our bike rental area, which I adore. I had so much fun where I just kind of sat down and built this one on like a cozy little warm day inside. And I was like, ooh, a bike rental, how do I make those and like make it autumnal? So it's like you come over here, you rent out your bike, you grab your bike and you go on the trail. And speaking of the trail, we're gonna head up this way. I absolutely love these signs, by the way. Not the signs. They're the little cutout standees, but they're like little gates, little fence gates. One of my favorite things to do on an island. Here is another speed build that you all, especially if you've been here before, will probably recognize. This is my resident rep's house. That is also the pumpkin patch / autumn festival area. I love this area so much. This was where I had decided instead of being in late October, I was gonna go mid to late November because I fell in love with the color of the trees, of course, and it just felt right. And when you visit, you will notice that you can go back here and use the little standee with the scarecrow. Very nice little photo op area. And since we are here, let's go ahead and look inside of my resident rep's house. Here we have the main room. This one I built pretty early on before I even decided on decorating in autumn. I just really liked the idea of maybe having like a grandma core cabin in the woods, so that's why we have a whole bunch of like the patchwork. I say a whole bunch and we have like 2. But we've got like our little kitchen over here, and the little trick with the, what is that, the swag, the floral swag, and whatever else is back there behind the stonework kitchen. I got that from Daisy, also known as Mabel's Apron. But I really liked the idea of like, you're coming to grandma's house, you're getting cozy, you're gonna have a little snack, of course, because, you know, grandmas, they gotta feed you. I built the upstairs bedroom next, and I really like this one. This one I spent a lot of time building in like a Happy Home Paradise before I built it here. And I forget where I saw it, but somebody had hung their socks up on the wall and I went bananas because I just, look at them, they're cute. Something about the wire hanger just makes me feel so happy. And we've got like a little area to sit and read. I don't know if we can actually sit in the chair, but we can pretend that we can, because I don't want to figure that out. And it's very overgrown in here, very warm, cozy cottage feel. Our next room is the bathroom. I was inspired by hylianleah. I believe that's their username. But I was watching them stream a long time ago, I feel like months ago, where they had built this bathroom where it's got like the wooden deck floor and like the vine rug, and I was like, oh my gosh. I know it wouldn't fit the vibe of my island, but something so cozy like this, I wanted to build one for myself. So I did. I put some little gyroid friends in here, and I just really liked it. It was fun. Our next room is a tavern that I built. I wasn't sure what to build back here, and I was like, I don't need another kitchen area, but I couldn't help myself. I was like, let me transform it into something less like a kitchen. So we've got a little tavern. This one is my boyfriend's favorite build because he likes all of the dark colors that we used of like the wood and the brick and stone. And I decided if we're gonna go with like a tavern theme, let's have fun with it. So we've got things like the pirate map, the little wheel. I don't know nautical terms, I'm sorry. And we've got like the little rug down here. And then the last room, again, I'm so sorry. I have no idea whose island it was because I was sitting in on a Twitch stream where either the streamer got permission or the streamer was the island owner. And they had a room a lot like this, very much like this. And I was in awe of this flooring here. Look at that! Look at the little, like, glowing bits that come up from when you walk around. That was just, the whole room was magical to me. So I built one of my own in my basement. I've got like a basement mushroom forest. And along with the little things, did you know that the cauldron does? Hold on. Hold on. Bam. It's the little things. It's the little things that you gotta get happy about. All right, so we're gonna make our way around this little circular area cul-de-sac-ish? I don't know. But we have 1 hour. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. I'm so sorry. We have one of our possibly one and only direct references to Over the Garden Wall. And here we have our woodsman's cottage. This one, y'all, the community helped me on stream decorate, so I want to thank you so much for that. So we've got the sign that says turn back, got the pumpkins, and then we kind of transition into the actual cottage area where he's chopping down the edelwood trees. This one was so fun because not only did I decorate it with you guys, but I had looked on Pinterest and had seen that someone made like a woodsman mood board, not Animal Crossing specific, but just like a general over the garden wall woodsman mood board. And I had noticed he had like a log backpack. I was like, oh my gosh, we have the item in Animal Crossing, let's do that. So I took a lot of inspiration from the mood board. So I feel like that just kind of helped with the overall vibe without feeling like I had to directly reference things and make it look like it does in the little mini series. And right by Adobe's house, which is the woodsman's house, we have our secret beach. I wanted to keep it with like the color scheme and the theme, but still have it walkable so that we can go to the ship if it was here. And still fit with the overall island theme as well. I really like how cozy it kind of feels. So we're gonna backtrack over to the right over here. And hopefully it doesn't get too dark. Oh, I'm thinking maybe I should have done like an earlier time of day But I just loved like the golden hour here. So you can't really see Sally's house from here during this time of day, but I did a little sunken neighborhood inspired by Shannon, also known as Hubie Crossing, and I just loved the brown tones of all the houses, along with the reds and oranges, very autumnal. And if we have the view from here, I absolutely adore it because it's very Meadowcore on this little cliff area here. And whenever I see sunken neighborhoods, especially when I first saw them through Shannon's streams and whatnot, I had the idea of like hobbit holes for some reason. I associate hobbits with meadows. So I wanted to make that area specifically like very Meadowcore. Oh, I apologize. We have Anchovy's house, we have Billy's house, and we have Sally's house. And going up this incline, we make our way to the right. We have a really cute spot, again, built on stream with you all. My little I keep calling it a Korok forest. My gyroid forest. I mean, it's sort of a forest as well. Let's go ahead and get a maybe up close view. I don't really use this camera view. Just look at all the little buddies over here. I love them so much. And I bet when you're playing with the sound on, you can hear them all just being melodious and wonderful, especially with these crickets that I decided to place out here with them. And I wanted to make a rock garden and have like a little foresty area. And the reason why me saying the Korok thing makes sense, I put a little ocarina here so you can grab it. You can play it. Join in the little chorus with the little gyroids. And I just thought having the, whatchamacallit, the bag placed down where it's got like the bear on it, super cute. I love the dropped items. From here, I'm gonna make my way down past here. And we have like a little hopping area, which I thought was adorable. Trying to get this river to work was very, very difficult. I couldn't quite get it the way I wanted it to at first, but I eventually got it. Let me get a better view of that area in the background there. So you can see like the windmill and the spooky tree as the sun is setting in the background, and it's beautiful. I was gonna say I hate to be my own hype man, but I feel like we should be allowed to be our own hype people for our Animal Crossing Highlands. I'm gonna make my way to the left first since we kind of skipped this area. This is on that other side of the entrance, actually. This is Bee's house. This is kind of a continuation of that Pottsfield kind of vibe where they're like strolling into town, seeing the little cottage neighborhood. And again, we have another little picnic blanket area. I absolutely adore the leaf piles. I think it's fun to run around and just kind of watch them go. What a descriptive word. So here you can kind of see all those themes that I was going for rolled into one. If we head over that bridge and back down this way, we have another little, you guessed it, a picnic blanket area with some roost bottles. And I really loved this hat code. I used their blanket code as well, and I love their codes. They're great. All the codes on this island, of course, I'm using them. I love them. We have a little Henry, I'm offended. Anyways, we have a little cafe on the beach, which I wasn't sure whether to include it or not, since I was wondering if a cafe like this would conflict with my themes. But I was like, I'm rolling together so many themes anyways. It'll look cute, might as well. Not quite. like it. I think it's very cozy, very Henry, which we have his beautiful house here, which he should be grateful to have because I would live here. I love how this looks. Let's go ahead and get it from the angle over here by this table. So the story behind this is that I have Henry and Mort Jr. and I wanted. Hold on, let me talk to him. I'll cut out of there because that's distracting. All right, it turns out that I am not offended. He just wanted to give me something. I'm so sorry about that. Anyways, so Henry and Mort Jr. are kind of like Frog and Toad on my island, and I had recently watched something where they were talking about Frog and Toad. I say they as if you know who they are. It was someone on YouTube. And the reason why it connects with so many people of any kind of background is that desire for like a simple life of living out in nature and, being free of responsibilities and just kind of living off the land. So I kind of wanted to encapsulate that frog and toad feeling. So I got my little frog and my little toad. And again, I fell in love with like the darker colored houses since I had so many light colored ones. So I gave them their own like woodsy cabins. Their neighbors, they come and they carve pumpkins together. And we go over this bridge and we have like these little boots with the puddle. Again, I was thinking simple living and being like out in the woods, just enjoying each other's company. So we have this area in front of, I almost called him Toad, Mort Jr.'s house that connects with the beach over here. And if I can find where I was inspired from, again, I will link that. Hopefully this one should be easy because they were on Instagram and I did leave a comment. I have like a little marketplace on this beach. And I just really liked how the original creator had the items arranged, how very busy it looked without being like cluttered. Everything has like a purpose. Well, not everything. This pumpkin's here just because it's a pumpkin. That one I kind of just threw there because I like pumpkins. Speaking of liking pumpkins, I have some over on the dock over here. And I want a cabin to still be accessible, so I have the little archway mostly clear. And then up here, I just placed some yachts because I wanted to use them, but I wasn't sure how to fully decorate with them, so I just threw them there. And again, only the front beaches are decorated, so past the yachts, I was like, that is not getting decorated. We're gonna make our way through this little fence gate area. And we're gonna hop across where this area was inspired by Ephemere ACNH, also known as Vicky. I had toured her island Dahlia on the channel. Dahlia was a huge inspiration to having an autumn island in the first place. So I felt like having a giant wheat field was something that I needed on this island, and I really like how there's just this space in the middle to come and read and have like your little picnic basket, ride your bike, and just have a nice, relaxing time. Okay, I believe this is like our last bit of the island. This one, I believe, was inspired by like a spring island by Ali, aka Autumn Weeds. Like the layout over here, especially with like the tea area and the wedding arch, definitely took inspiration from that. But I really wanted to have something that was like floral and cute still, but with like a little twist of pumpkins. So we've got like this little wedding tea party area with the nuptial bell. I absolutely love it. And again, I do believe that's the last bit of our island, so I will meet you all back at resident services. Myself and the other residents of Biscuit want to thank you for joining me on this journey, this chapter in my life that I call Biscuit. I've been working on this island for well over a year, and I really hope that all that hard work and the long time that I took putting my heart and soul into this really pays off. And I hope you all enjoy it. If you take pictures, feel free to reach out to me if you want to maybe tour this on your streams or something. Feel free to reach out to me on my social medias. Make sure you tag me and whatnot. I would love to see how you all view Biscuit. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I hope to hop into another Animal Crossing island. I don't know when that is because I'm not sure if I'm going to need a burnout break or not. But once I've decided on that, I want to get into some more Animal Crossing content. Thank you all so much again, and I will see you again another day. Bye!